Hi, my name is Stefan from the B2B Sellers team, and today I want to show you how easy it is to work with and extend the B2B Seller Suite as a developer. This will of course be just a rough overview, so make sure to take a look at our documentation for a real deep dive. Alright, without further ado, let me give you a quick outline. We will start off with the B2B Sellers extension concept. Then we take a look at the system requirements and recommendations, the technical directory structure, helpers and components. Next, I'll guide you on how to extend the B2B Seller Suite, the local development with Dockware, and lastly, I'll introduce you to the B2B Platform Watcher. Let's take a look at the basic concept behind the B2B Seller Suite. The main requirement is of course a Shopware 6 installation. The suite itself is just a regular plugin like any other and works with the Community, Professional and Enterprise edition. The license for the core plugin comes with an additional 6 free plugins covering various common B2B use cases like employee management, sales rep management, approval processes, roles and rights management, budgeting, and several other useful features and functionalities. In addition, we offer a collection of paid plugins for things like offer management, spare parts shop, recurring orders with intervals, which can be installed on top of the B2B Seller Suite core. And apart from that, you can of course install any other third-party plugins that are available for your Shopware edition. Now let me briefly explain the structure of customers and employees so you know what we're actually talking about. Here we created an imaginary company Luxon, which acts as a shop owner. They have 2 sales reps, which are regular Shopware customers, except they have an extra custom field, is sales representative, which is set to true. So each company is a regular Shopware customer. And on top, we have the users of the company, which are persisted in a separate entity called employee. As soon as the company has been classified as a B2B platform customer, they can no longer log in, only the users of the company can. So it is technically possible that the stored email address can occur more than once for customers. A user can also be assigned to several customers and thus buy for several customers. For each company assignment, a user can have different roles. And in addition, we can link customers and sales staff as a contact person, which is then also displayed in the account menu. This view right here is our actual test data, which you can easily integrate via the shell command we provide. Taking a look into the My Extensions area of the shop backend, no surprises there. The B2B Seller Suite core and the additional modules are just regular plugins which you can install, activate and configure. The B2B Seller Suite has the same system requirements as Shopware 6 itself, and you can of course always find them in the Shopware documentation. We do however recommend PHP 8 and for your local dev environment, Node.js for the Watcher. And that's all. We still recommend developing on Dockware.io, and we also use PHP Storm with the corresponding Shopware plugin from Shiheim, but all of that is not mandatory and totally up to you. Taking a peek into the folder structure of the core plugin, you can see it's component-based, and each component comes with its own service XML, subscribers, controllers, and its own routes and entities, making it super clear and easy to understand. It's just Shopware-like. If we take a look at some additional plugins, in this case the rather big B2B offer plugin, as well as the small B2B product request plugin, we see the same component-based structure, and everything is organized in the same manner. In the offer plugin, for example, the offer component has its own aggregates, converters, events, generators or processors, just like Shopware does. For the storefront, we do of course use twig blocks. Same goes for the Vue.JS B2B platform, just as you know it from the admin area. So feel free to extend everything according to your needs. And of course, we use Vue.js components, which you can simply override. We use abstract PHP classes, which you can easily extend. One such example would be the store API routes. We also use interfaces in all our service classes, which should make it a breeze to come up with your own implementations in case you have the need. Apart from that, we do of course make use of subscribers. Furthermore, we created a ton of entities that work alongside and together with the existing Shopware 6 entities. All the details about those, including all data types, can be found in our documentation. We've created several test commands for you to use. For example, the create test data command. This one can be used to create test customer accounts, which you can then use to log into the shop. We use custom fields for all new fields in existing Shopware 6 entities, and all of our new tables can of course be extended with the custom fields by you and your team. Everything is API driven. Likewise, for most of the data, there's also a matching store API route. To make the development and customization of the B2B seller suite super easy, we created several helper classes and functions. An example is the HTML body tag, which allows you to identify the type of the user currently accessing the store, as well as the roles and rights they possess by their CSS class names. You can also use our flow events to integrate your own processes, and we also implemented B2B specific rules for the rule builder, so you could, for example, hide individual menu items in the B2B platform based on a role without the need for any code changes. To cover many of the B2B specific use cases, we created a dedicated B2B context to accommodate the regular sales channel context, and for ease of use, we created a B2B context trait with many helpful methods. We also created a URL parameter useCustomer to log into a specific customer. This way, it's possible to define into which company a customer logs in when they visit a shop URL. For additional helpers and their detailed functionality, make sure to take a look at our developer documentation. Within the Vue.JS B2B platform, we provided dedicated navigation. And to make it as easy as possible for you to create new menu entries for your own plugins, we have a detailed guide on how to create these menu items. So please make sure to have a look at our documentation. We've been asked several times if it's possible to use your own NPM modules within the B2B seller suite. And of course, yes, you can. It works exactly the same way as within the Shopware 6 admin. The only difference is that you have to name the folder B2B platform instead of administration. So feel free to use your own NPM modules in your plugin. As a sales rep, you do of course have other possibilities compared to a standard employee of a purchasing company. One such example would be to create an order on behalf of a company directly from within the B2B platform. And for this reason, we have provided you with a code snippet that shows you how to safely, but also easily create a new context for the impersonated customer. The sales representative simply has to provide the impersonate customer ID in the request, and voila, a new context will be created for this one request, which you can then use to create or update a new card. That is, of course, only necessary when you are in the sales platform, not when the sales rep actually logs into the customer, because in that case, a user-specific context would be created anyways. Since the B2B platform covers a range of use cases and can be used as a B2B shop, customer portal, or sales platform, we created some useful tooling for you to use. That includes modals for product details, quote requests, icons, a product search, and a pretty powerful data table with column selection and tons of filtering options. So before you start creating something from scratch, check our documentation first, because maybe there's already something you can use as a starting point. Alright, to keep this short, it's just another Shopware 6 plugin you're dealing with, and you can extend or override anything without worry. For your local dev environment, we recommend Dockware, and this Docker Compose file should get you started quickly. Alright, by now you might be wondering, so how do I create an extension for the Vue.js B2B platform? And for that, we have implemented a custom watcher just like the Shopware administration. You launch it simply via the bin console B2B platform watch command and provide the two parameters employee email and password. Of course, the same is also possible for sales representative. Next, you'll be prompted for the sales channel and the domain you want to open the Vue.JS interface for. And after a few seconds, you can open the B2B platform at port 9998. And for the layout, the CSS from the store theme and Bootstrap will be used. After your development, you can build the Vue.js with bin console B2B platform build, and you're done. So finally, let's go over some frequently asked questions that we've been asked. And the most important is, of course, the documentation I've been referring several times already. So whether it's plugin descriptions and configurations, API and developer docs with all the helpers and functions, all the info you could possibly ask for is in there. And if you feel like something's missing, please don't hold back and just ask. We add to and improve the documentation frequently, and it's based on your feedback. If you're curious about our roadmap, you'll always find it on our website, and if there are specific features you'd like to see in the future, don't hesitate, get in touch. And for any bugs or issues you discover, you can use the issue tracker on our website and we'll make sure to fix them as soon as possible. And finally, last but not least, here are the first steps on how to start customizing the B2B Seller Suite for your client project. We start by downloading the latest version of the B2B Seller Suite plugins, then install the plugin B2Bsellers CORE first, and only then all the other B2B Sellers extensions. Next, we create new test customers with the command bin console B2B create test data, with which you can then simply log in. And after that, you should run bash bin build.js.sh to build the admin and storefront, as well as bin console B2B platform build to build the B2B platform. Once that has finished, you'll have the B2B platform integrated into your store. Congrats and have fun with it. Now you can push your B2B e-commerce to the next level. We are super excited to further improve the B2B Seller Suite with new and amazing features in the future, and hopefully you are as well. And with that, I want to thank you for watching and have fun developing with the B2B Seller Suite.